Today we're going to be talking about adding and subtracting like fractions, or fractions with the same denominator. As we've discussed, fractions represent part of a whole. Here I'm demonstrating the fraction fourths. There are 4 parts to one whole. Here is 1/4. Has the numerator 1 and the denominator 4. Let's try adding 2 fractions. Let's add the fraction 1/5 plus 1/5. As you can see, 1/5 plus 1/5 equals 2/5. The next fraction we're going to add is 2/3 plus 1/3. Here we have 2/3 plus another third. Altogether, we have 3/3. In the next model, we're going to represent 1/4 plus 2/4. Altogether, we have 3/4. In the next question, we're going to try to figure out what I need to add to 3/6 in order to get 5/6. Here I have 3/6, 1/6, 2/6, 3/6. So I'm going to keep adding 6 until I get 5/6. Represented here, I have 5/6. The part that I added is right here. I had to add 2/6 to my 3/6 in order to get 5/6. Now we're going to move on and talk about subtracting fractions. In the model above, I have 7/8. I'm going to take away 2 of those eighths, and I am left with 5/8 because 7 minus 2 is 5. I am left with 5/8. The 8 stays the same. I'm just subtracting from the numerator. In the next model, I'm going to start out with 5/6. I'm going to take away 4/6. That means I'm going to remove 4/6 of the fractions. As you can see, I am left with 1/6. The next problem we're going to model is 5/8. The next problem that we're going to model is 5/8. And we're going to take away 3 of those 8s. You can see that we're left with 2/8. In the next problem, we're going to do an open-ended question. I'm going to start out with 3/5, and I'm going to take away some of the fifths, and I'm going to be left with 1/5. Let's watch this model of 3/5 take away some of the fifths and left with 1/5. Here are 3/5. How many do I have to take away to be left with 1/5? There's my 1/5. I needed to take away 2/5. The answer is 2/5. Our next open-ended question is, I'm going to start with some number, and I know that I'm going to take away 5/6, and I'm going to be left with 1/6. My fraction has a denominator of 6. So how many pieces am I going to start with? I know my fact families of 5 and 1 would give me 6, and 6 minus 5 would equal 1. Here I have 5/6. I want to be left with 1 of those 6. So I'm going to add 1/6 to figure out what is missing. The correct answer is 6/6. If I start with 6 and I take away 5, I am left with 1/6. The answer is 6/6. I hope that this lesson helped you to understand how to add and subtract like fractions. Remember, the most important thing is when you are adding and subtracting fractions with the same denominator to only add the numerators.